Hi, Sarah from the upcoming. A real pleasure to speak to you today. Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to this incredible new show, Karim. What can people expect when they tune in?
So they can expect to learn more about Carême, who was Carême, and what kind of character was Carême at this time. They are going to expect about the different team that will work well together, about sex, food, and politics, for instance. And this is the reason why I began to work on this show and excited me the most since the beginning to see how these different teams could be together and how can we talk about politics while we are still talking about food and to have a main character very awesome, very young and very seductive with girls and even with boys and as Karim was.
And as a lifelong fan of period drama, this is just not what a lot of people maybe expect from watching a period drama, where it's normally quite buttoned up, quite slow, quite stiff. This is the exact opposite of that. What do you think is going to surprise viewers most when they watch it?
I also wanted to, since the beginning, avoid, the usual period drama style, allowed us to bring Karim's character a bit of rock and roll attitude and a modern twist for the show. We didn't care about the fact that even if they not wore the costume like him at this time, we didn't care about that, and we think that the audience won't care about that. They just want to have, a modern show and maybe to have at home, with the rhythm, with fun, and also with gorgeous about the food. Since the beginning, we were look after the, what is a sidestep to avoid, the usual period drama style. We really wanted to have our own sidestep.
And I mean, as a character to follow, I mean, Karim, he's hungry for power, for wealth, for women, but sometimes that ambition comes at a cost, and it makes him such a compelling anti-hero in some ways. Why did you want to follow this character, and what did Benjamin bring to the role that perhaps surprised you about it?
When I met Benjamin for the first time, I immediately knew about the fact that Karim was here in the same room as like me, and it was an evidence to give Karim's role to Benjamin, because as a seductive guy, as a young guy, as an ambitious man, as Benjamin was at this time, and we found together, the way how he could move in the space, earrings. We have been working a lot with Pan Larok, the costume designer, to reinvent and to choose exactly our vision more than the real vision about this period drama thing. So as we were in the fiction, we could imagine everything we want for the costume designer and for the location design. It was very important to keep this freedom mindset in the process.
And there is a lot of seduction in the show, but I like the fact that it's not something that's frivolous. I mean, it's something that runs both in a romantic sense, but it's also in the culinary sense, but it's also in the political sense. How is almost that element kind of the through line that linked everything in your show?
I hope that the audience will watch it like this in the future. So we try to do it the best that we could to mix the all different tone of the show, comedy and love relationships and political plot too. So it was like that when I began to work on the show after the writer's work, Davide and from the novel about Ian Kelly and different writers that they've been working with Davide since the beginning. So it was already like this in the script. So I hope we took the good decision to shoot it with the characters as Benjamin, but also as a different women, as Josephine. I also love to enjoy to work with Sigrid as Catherine Grand, and for sure Henriette and Agathe We could imagine a lot of different hairstyle. It's everywhere that we try to put our vision and to avoid pair drama style usual.